Alright, hello. Musashi Sampson here, Childlike Ink, aka Sashi the Sage. Well, now that I'm to take number 860 something, hopefully I can get to this doing what I see here in Simplified 3D and cover just this rotation thing. Before I start, I'd like to say thank you, Mitch in my Facebook group, Simplified 3D Advanced Users. And reason I'm directly thanking him is because a lot of people in the industry like to do nothing but throw quotes at you about things that either cost more money than some of us have in this thing that starts as a hobby that we need to eventually find a way to support. So usually we're told we got to make it a business or whatever. The community has more people that want to be the know-it-all asshole instead of the I remember when I was there guy. And so generally you push a lot of people away, like not just a lot, thousands by the second. You idiots out there that are doing this. And the only way to slow it down is more of you who are out here showing people like me with a higher tolerance level for ignorance, because we are very ignorant. Some of us who are just starting in, hey, there's a million 3D printers being advertised to me. I get a 3D printer, Thingiverse is the next thing advertised to me. I'm not learning anything really in that process. And then to be at that level and go into a room or group, whatever social media it is, and be ridiculed by a bunch of know-it-alls does not help your community. All you're doing is building angry little bastards who are going to play anonymous, now I got you behind the keyboard. It's not a threat for me. This is what is going on and has happened to me. So I'm trying to tell more of you, slow your roll. If you didn't train them, you can't blame them. Saying I picked up along the way. And it's serious. So now that I'm done yapping and explaining that, that's just a little bit of, you guys who are learning. There are a lot of people, it seems like they're in hiding because there's too many assholes talking, and it's hard for them to tell who's trolling and not. Because pretty much at the sight of a question, it's like, it's a trap, But let's get past that. And if you're still interested, let's do this simplified 3D thing here. So, one shortcut I'm gonna need to tell you is Control T. I don't have any captions on, but what that does is, let's say I turn my object some weird way, and you see it do that. Control T drops it back to the bed, to the original, or whatever way you have it. It doesn't put it back like a reset scale here. My bad. Reset rotation would do. So what I did was I turned this up at 90, dropped it back to the bed. Now double clicking your object will allow you to fix this little section we have to the right over here. Bear with me, you guys, because I use more of the functions than I can tell you about the technical terms. But I can ask you a question when I see you doing things that I'm making mistakes on, that I've struggled with for a long time. So, alright, we got to that part. Now there's this option over here for you to put your supports on. And you can just generate automatic supports. But before we do that, turn this off. Let's look at the weight, give or take. We know this is just an estimate. But look at that. I wanted to print this straight up. The reason being, if I put supports all along the back of this, I'm gonna lose a lot of surface detail, or risk a lot of surface detail for some reason doing it just flat on its back like that. Instead, we could then come over here and hit this, because it's really not gonna print like that. Okay, let me go back. The reason we cannot print like that is because these overhangs, and a lot of you understand this already, but there's some of my friends who are just now buying 3D printers based off what I'm saying, because there's so many of you assholes out here, they don't know who to just go to. So don't worry, we'll get there. Your 3D printer is going to start from the ground and work its way up. And this slicer that I'm using has its advantages, even though people are mad about the update. I really could care less. As long as it's saving me money, I'm sticking with it. So let's look right here. If I printed it like that, you see these? It would come to this line, and out of nowhere, start printing in midair. Let me run through this. There. That's just midair, right? And here comes the next one. And so adding supports is a must right there, or that's going to be all stringy. And then you come up a little higher, and most of it's connected. But then we're going to get another just out in the open here too. There. And that's a lot of distance in between here, this part being made, and just thin air, right? Even though it connects all the way. So right here, after inspecting your piece, you would have to find a way to get something underneath it. Now, here's the catch. I've had this software since 2016. And just figured out 2 weeks ago, because of the user Mitch, again, thank you, the Simplified 3D Room of Advanced Users on Facebook, he taught me a little trick. Instead of going like I was, because again, I'm new, I see this, you could add your supports, but I didn't realize I can turn my model, so I sat here, right, and did all this, which you still are gonna do most times. Okay, got my stuff. But I was lazy, so I was hitting this nice little generate automatic supports button. Bam, look at that, right? Filled it up. No work, click of a button. Okay. So let's go look at this. I've been wasting this much filament on just about everything I print because I need to be sure that I don't understand angles, and I didn't care about that stuff in school. It would definitely help if I knew how to just see a protractor in my brain and know what angles are at a certain point where I only need to put support there, because the printer will compensate the rest for you if you set it right. I don't know that, so here I am, just like most, filling in solid space and using, as you see, the supports here, they're growing right with your model, right? So this is why from the ground just start to pillar and your piece is hidden in there, right? And that is 100 and something plus more. We were at 112. We're now approaching almost another model worth of filament. Crazy I've been doing it for that long. So, let me show you what it looks like when I got to it. And figured out with other models that I can do this. So this model is how an after result of about 30 minutes, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still playing with it. And the more you know about angles, you can just come over here and change your numbers, right? It'll lean to the angle you want to put it. And so what I had to do, sit here, clickety clickety over here. It also helps if you're not on a computer equivalent to an LG toaster. You can produce faster results. Mainly my graphic card sucks. GeForce 460 GTX. We're getting there. Anyway. The advantage is, now when I come in here and I add the support, instead of it thinking it's going to go all the way to the ground, I'll reset with Control T. You see, those supports are still connected there. They won't move. So now this part that was telling me it needed to go all the way to the ground, I can just come right here and do that. All the way, all up in here. I'll remove these so you can see. These parts are all hanging over. And I could have used less support, so I was just, again, I'm double checking my work, so I put a few. Now, when you go to add now, my bottom piece here, where my mouse is, doesn't go all the way to the ground like that. Instead, it thinks this neck is the floor. And it allows me to make this overhang, so I only need to put some right here now. Instead of completely having it stand up straight. I hit Control T once again. Now I'm going to reset the rotation. Let's see. It was regularly like that. I hit 90 degrees. Control T again. I'm now standing back straight up. Close to it. Sometimes you might have to reset it because it's a bit weird. Let's open up the original. So, let's check out the weight on this model after I sat here and I played with it for a bit. I don't know what else to say to you. I originally bought this software because Angus Devson from Maker's Muse was originally doing a video, and I came across it because I just got a MakerBot and didn't like its software. And he showed me a slicing process where I can start printing with infill a certain way, and then at a higher level of the print in a thicker or even less infill. And when I saw that at the time, I was like, $150, no problem. Now, after doing this, as much filament as I've wasted in 4 years, I would pay that $150 today. Once it made sense to me why I'm saving so much. And maybe not to some of you who just have it, like you can just throw it at the club, but I don't have it like that. And every bit I waste costs me some future project where I now lose creativity trying to hustle to get back to where I was, to comfortably just sit and know that my project's going to be done. These are things small people like myself in this game are experiencing, and what I'll do from here is I'll just let it play with a little music, and yeah, that's it. You'll see me kind of twisting it and turning it, the different angles, and there you go. If this doesn't sell you on why you might want to use Simplified 3D to save on filament, I don't know what else to say, because as far as I know, there is no other software. Right now, I've used a bunch. There's Craft, Something, Idea Maker, Cura, Prusia, Slicer. Look, they have cool things like you can advance, linear advance or something like that, where if your print is lower on one part, it can G-code over and never cross back down here or up here. A lot of different things. And some of the supports even allow you to have a structure like this, and the supports go up, 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 and they get up to a certain point and the tip will curve. But what they will not let you do is take your model, even with tree supports, turn it like this or like that, and if there's an overhang here, it will not let you just put things like that and then turn it back like this. It will totally reset any supports, or they'll just be hanging. It does not work with any other software. And the reason I'm doing this video is because I realize a lot of people don't know this, and I'm always looking for that next best thing that's going to help me advance in this field. So thank you for your time. Musashi Sampson out.